Next up on WTV, a humanities field trip, Holocaust remembrance, and today's sports. WTV's Daily Update starts now. Hey there, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Friday, January 27th, and I'm Aditi Shah with today's Daily Update brought to you by Wingspan TV. Every other year, the GT Humanities students go to the Dallas Holocaust Museum to learn about the mass atrocities committed in the world. WTV's Nishal Gumadi has more information.
Every other year during Holocaust Remembrance Week, students taking GT Humanities go to the Dallas Holocaust Museum. Humanities teacher Sarah Wiseman thinks that the trip will be a great source for the material during this unit.
We're really excited to take our humanities students to the Dallas Holocaust and Human Rights Museum. It is a world-class museum that explores not just the Holocaust, but mass atrocities that are historical throughout the world, and also ones that are being committed in the current day, as well as other human rights issues such as the civil rights movement in the United States. The big thing that we're going to have our students take away from this is going to be a source that they can use in their writing and their research this semester.
Freshman Janice Jason thinks that this will be a great opportunity to learn about the past.
I think it's going to be exciting to go on the trip to the Holocaust Museum because we get to learn a lot about our past and like history and what's happened during World War II and what some of the soldiers had to go through and some images and art that we can look at.
Reporting for WTV, I am Nishal Gumadi.
The GT Humanities field trip comes during the Holocaust Remembrance Week in Texas. This week is designed to help bring awareness to the Holocaust, and here with a look at how it impacts Red Hawks on campus, WTV's Sachi Kuchu.
6 million. That's around the amount of people that had their lives taken away during the Holocaust. In 2019, the state of Texas passed Senate Bill 1828 to mark January 27th as Holocaust Remembrance Day. And this week, high schools all over the state remember the Holocaust. Many on campus have family that were directly affected by the genocide.
A personal connection, my mom's side lived in Europe, specifically my great-grandfather. He lived in Hungary. He was sent to a concentration camp. His siblings all died and so did his parents. And he made it out alive and so did his now wife. She lived in Poland and was sent to a concentration camp. Her parents died and so did her two brothers, and they made it out alive and married and had kids and moved to Israel.
Others on campus have friends that were impacted.
So my very best friend, who I met in 9th grade humanities, and we're still friends to this day, she's Jewish, and her family actually fled to Cuba during that time period. And so while they didn't lose family members to the Holocaust, you know, that's something that's kind of a fear that's baked into their family is that, you know, it could be something that is repeated.
The atrocities of the Holocaust that happened over 85 years ago still affect people today.
And just seeing that real fear of someone, you know, who's just as American as anyone else, you know, worrying for the safety of their life and their children and whether or not, you know, it's going to be safe to continue to live in the only home that she or her parents or her children have ever known.
For Rabia, it's important that people realize how it escalated.
So I think people should take away that like little things lead up to like big events, because like the build up to the Holocaust was like very little things. Like it was first moving all Jews to ghettos, then to concentration camps, and then to death camps. So it's always like watching out for little things and making sure that it doesn't happen again.
This day also brings awareness to current human rights violations.
It's really important to remember the Holocaust because it's just a single example of genocide and mass atrocity and egregious violation of human rights. It's a really shocking example of the worst of what humans can do. So it's important to remember it and to also bring awareness to current violations of human rights and mass atrocities, whether it's at home in the United States or abroad as a global community.
Reporting for WTV, I'm Sachi Kuchu.
In honor of Holocaust Remembrance Week, WTV's Lauren Sinclair talks to students about it and why it's still relevant.
Hey Redhawks, this is WTV's Lauren Sinclair with this week's edition of Real Talk. Why is it important to learn about the Holocaust?
I think it's important to learn about the Holocaust so that the world never forgets again in such like a traumatic experience, and you can learn about it and ensure it doesn't happen again.
Well, I think being like such a young generation that even a lot of people that experienced it firsthand are now gone, having us be able to see and experience this gives us a new perspective that was really lost to history otherwise.
And how does that pertain to what you're doing in class?
Well, in class right now we're learning about like World War II and the Holocaust and just events in the 1900s, so it's important to like you get a personal one-on-one experience so you can see how it truly was rather than just learning on textbooks.
So right now we're talking a lot about genocides and World War I and II, and so it just is an extension of the topics that we've already covered, like fascism and dictators.
Reporting for WTV, I'm Lauren Sinclair.
On today's sports, WTV's Luke Martin brings you Red Hawk athletics.
Boys basketball faced off against Emerson on Tuesday. The Mavericks would keep the game close, but the Redhawks would pull away late, winning the matchup 65-56. The team will now set their sights on Lebanon Trail, who they will play tonight at 8 p.m. at the Nest. Girls basketball also took on Emerson on Tuesday. The girls would lead from start to finish, beating the Mavericks 47-30. The team will now move on towards Lebanon Trail, who they'll face off against tonight at 6:30 p.m. at the Nest. Boys and girls soccer both competed earlier this week. The boys traveled down to Fort Worth on Tuesday to take on top 4A team Diamond Hill Jarvis. The teams would go back and forth, ending in a tie 0-0. For the girls, they would take on Centennial on Wednesday in the first district matchup of the season. The team would dominate, sweeping the Titans 4-0. Reporting for WTV, I'm Luke Martin.
If you are looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. And now for today's announcements. If you are a sophomore or junior interested in joining the Independent Study and Mentorship Program at Liberty High School, please scan the following QR code for application information. All applications are due by January 31st. For more information, contact Coach Whitcomb at whitcombh@friscoisd.org. It's your last chance to buy the yearbook. Relive your memories and order your yearbook today by scanning the QR code below or visiting jostens.com. For questions, email parkmane@friscoisd.org or visit room C147. Students and staff members, please check the portraits in the academic hallway windows. If any corrections to your names or any changes to your pictures need to be made, please fill out the QR code submission below or email Coach Parkman via parkmane@friscoisd.org by the end of today. Attention AP students. AP exam payment for spring AP courses is open through February 10th. Payment will be made through online school fees, and payment finalizes the student's AP exam registration. Students in a fall or full year AP course who have not paid for their exam can pay by contacting CCMR facilitator Jamie Vanderpool by February 10th. There is a $50 late fee per exam. February 10th is the final AP registration, payment and refund request deadline for Frisco ISD. That's it for today's daily update. This is Aditi Shah for Wingspan TV.